Oh my god. Look at this shit. This shit out of the prison. So they all are. All these troops are shit. I don't know. Yeah, I'll release him. I thought about recruiting him, but nah, I don't want any of these. Oh, asset tech. Maybe see, ones that have that aren't bad to recruit, and then just let sit because they're passive. That just gives you more money. I'm not doing it because I'm either stupid or lazy or plan too far ahead. Now AI from Uesugi has that ability, and it doesn't stack. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't think merchant stacks either. And I got those. I can't use them because Rance is inactive. So on my turn. Skip through this. Maybe. Oh god, I can't see my keyboard, so I'm kind of guessing. Isn't that scary? That is scary. These Hanis are finally in Kyo. And look at the way that one's dressed. That's so cool. There's a game mode called Free For All or something like that. And you can pick any of the nations and you just conquer everybody. It's not very fun. I don't like it at all. But it gives you a bunch of different opportunities to play the game. And if you pick Imagawa, you get them as commanders, I believe. And they're still shit, like all the other Hani troops. I just thought I'd mention it because they are at this stage in the game not troops. I like how he has a sword. He has a holstered sword, but what are his arms? How did he clothe himself? What is this? Holy shit. And like I was saying in a previous part, the Hani King's not a Hani. You don't find that out for a while, but I'm really unobservant, so I didn't notice that, but it's kind of obvious. You can see the hinges on his side there, holding the two halves together. You can see the big crack that separates the two sides. And his face looks more hollow and whatnot than the other Hanis. The Alisoft Wiki refers to them as Honeys. I don't know why. I don't know if that's correct or not. He doesn't want to be doing anything that they're doing because he's a person. The Hani King is a person. He doesn't like this. He shouldn't. I have this fucking huge plate of shrimp in front of me right now. I'm not eating it while I'm recording, because that would be obnoxious, wouldn't it? But it does look good. I mean, oh my god. I'm just looking at it right now. It's derailing what I was saying. I don't even know anymore. I can't do that in the future. Cannot. But anyway, the majority of them leave. A little group stays behind in Kyo with that girl. That little, she's not little. She's just wearing little kid clothes. I don't know why. But they're standing there with her. And you can go and investigate it. Maybe now I have the option to do that. I'm not positive. I don't know when I get that option. It's later in the game that I've noticed it. And the group is called the SHINSEGUMI. There are a lot of Hani groups like that throughout the game. Or it might be the same one. I don't know. We probably won't see their portion of influence on Tokugawa, which is a faction that emerges later. Go back to skipping this. I forget. Counterattack. Oh, baby, baby. I would scout, but I mean, no. I'm just not going to. And Suzume will ride up front because she's a champ. Let's face the facts here. She's a champ. And a good thing I didn't scout because this is not threatening. And you can notice that they have two tacticians, a lot of arrows. And I'll just, why not? I mean, I don't care what happens, as usual. And I succeeded. I mean, I've had Suzume at 200 troops knock out people with 4K troops and shit like that. You can be pretty lucky. And these guys have such small troop sizes. I'm really scared to fight Tokugawa in their last place. Honestly, I am. That's a tactician, they have no counterattack. So the guard Shikigami will remain. And that was a really easy win. They may attack me again because of how simple that was. They may not. Killed 2 of them. Feels good. Holding a raccoon dog festival. What? Oh, I forgot all about this. I'll let you see it. And you'll also be able to see what the peasants are. They are not good. The weakest unit in the game, and I don't know if you can actually obtain any. I've never had one in my army, and I wouldn't want one if I were able to. There are some funny ones. Some of them have humorous names. But they really are the lowest of the low. You could deploy Meta, and the peasants may kill themselves just by attacking Meta. I know that happens with Ranmaru, and I know that happens with Katsui. I've deployed archers before to take hits, and that's what I'll do now. I'll deploy Niwa, and he will be able to take hits from the peasants and still kill them because of how weak they are. Though what do you expect? You'll see in their sprite, they're just men and women armed with like rakes and shovels and shit. They would stand no chance against a good group of swordsmen. Or, I guess in my case, archers. And yeah, they are all revolting because of the Tenshi sect, going to war with them, and the fire that Nobunaga created to kill all those people. If you leave them alone, the national power in your area is reduced by 1. Which isn't really a big deal, but it stacks up, and you don't want that. And it's always 1,000 troops like this, every time. And you're like, oh no, 700, that's gonna do some serious damage. And it didn't. It didn't. And I mean, I run out of flags. I didn't even kill them all. There's no penalty to killing them. Like, you would think they're citizens drawn from your territories. There may be some penalty. There isn't. There is no penalty. Places of Japan are plentiful with peasants. And here, Rengoku, apparently all the apostles and Xavier himself can summon apostles from other people. The apostles are stored inside of human beings. They were bound to human beings, and when those humans had children, the demon was passed on to their kids. So they're all still floating around Japan. Though they don't have to be. It's stated by Hojo Son that they were all powerful diviners originally, who had the demons bound to them. And Son announces later on in the game that maybe a warrior had the demon bound to them, and they left the country to do other things. You know, it could be anything. And in this case, the man is killed quite violently. They describe it. He's just ripped to pieces, and this is actually, really sadly, what happens to Ran, the purple-haired girl in Hojo. She explodes, and the demon rips out of her, and it sucks. And that happens because she's calling him forth. She's summoning the demon to fight for her. As a powerful diviner herself, she can pull him out of her and attack with him, and control him until he, of course, breaks free. And that doesn't happen in her route. Thank God. There's another main character, I guess, who is in a similar situation. She's a Miko from Mori House, the Mori territory, and she just explodes. I mean, what? You'd never find out who came out of who Rengoku came out of at all. It's also not really important. And this one, Shikibu, I think her name is, she's not really... I mean, you can fight her in a commander battle. You actually have to do that. As Kentaro, you fight her way later in the game. And you fight her military unit, which isn't really strong. It's a warrior unit. And I like her CG a lot. Doesn't that sound lewd? No, I like her, like, weapon thing. I don't know what the hell that is. It's scary, though. She's... Actually, on the surface like that, she's probably the most intimidating of the 4 apostles because of that weapon. I mean, I don't know if it's a part of her or if it is a weapon, in fact. And despite the way she looks, there is no H scene for her. I thought there would be immediately. I mean, my God. And that doesn't ever change. That's the only picture you get of her. Rance naturally loves her. Wasting money. And, oh God, should I do it? I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. I got all my best guys. Worst case scenario, I lose. I shouldn't actually lose any troops though. And yeah, I'll do it. Another tactician? Am I ballsy enough to do that? Fuck no, I'm not. Another ninja. 2 ninjas? Another tactician instead of Suzume. I don't care. Because it's still early in the game, all my power is in the front row. I have to break down their front row. And fortunately, it's not a 20% influence that they have here. It's a lot less. If that were not the case, it would hurt a lot more to be here. Sakai Taratsuga taking him out. Still the most random and scary thing here. Now, without that 120% on Katsuye, that could have been horrible for me. And thankfully it wasn't. I want to take out Honda as well. I will be able to take out Sakaki Ibara and Honda with guarantee. Ieyasu, maybe not. But I want to take out Honda before he does the commander charge. And I will probably be able to now because their Guardian didn't let up. And that's always beneficial when that happens. That is always beneficial. And Katsui's guard is gone. I have to get that back up. Hanzo attacking the back row. Nothing too big to worry about. They're kind of weak. Ieyasu didn't get his attack bonus, and he hasn't used the ability charge yet. If he did either of those, I would have had to dispel. I'm saying dispel like it's magic, but I would have had to remove the arrows. That's a really big deal. You gotta do that. I mean, I brought Kento because she's stronger than Niwa, but she's not really gonna do much. Renmaru's okay. You start to see her lighten up in usefulness. No, not yet, you know, never mind. And here's the commander charge. This is a really common thing. It's not some weird, oddball, unique ability. It's common. You can get it for every warrior unit. Most people do. And maybe I won't be able to take out Honda. Katsui may fall. He won't die, more than likely. I'm not worried about that happening. I'd still rather him take the hit than Renmaru or Rance. Even if they could survive the blow, I'd rather it this way. And it may have been more beneficial for me to attack Hattori Hanzo with Kento the entire time. I didn't do that. Such is life. And here's this. Also, if luck were on my side, I could have won. There are some random things involved here. You know, I mean, it depends what their Guardian wanted to do. If Honda didn't commander charge, Katsui wouldn't have been annihilated. Things like that. And it kind of makes you go back there a little more often and fight, just to see what happens. I didn't go over this either. You can construct a foot soldier training area. Adds 5 troops to every guard unit per turn. It takes up 5 national power. That's why I have not done it. Though I may well now because I have quite a bit to spare. You can build a ninja mansion. Does the same thing. When you conquer Tanegashima, you can build a musket thing. It's a little different. That one's a little different though. And you can make a diviner school with Hojo. That's all over the place. I'll do this too. Look at how he talks. That's just how he approaches people. And you have to do this in order to get any of Suzume's age scenes. I think she has 3. One of them is a variation of another, but it's a pretty drastic variation, I guess. It's the same CG with some additions, and one of them is unique. Suzume, you can get her to love pretty easily. And yeah, she really loves Rance a lot. I mean, they're expressing it here by touching each other's butts. Yeah. They're both kids. They act like kids. So they get along. After this, though, the next Suzume event will be an H scene, and you get satisfaction. That's kind of why I'm doing it. I want to get a lot of... I need to get more satisfaction quickly. I put it all off because I'm just trying to conquer territories instead of getting these. And you could go either way, I guess. If you wanted to just conquer places, it would take longer because you don't have the powerhouse units. But if you wait and get those units, it's going to be faster. So it all evens out in the end, I believe. That's how I'm looking at it. I might as well take my time and do this. Also, my attack at Tokugawa can be seen as a waste of time. Surely I could have reloaded, had better luck, and conquered their capital right there. But I don't want to do that. It feels stupid to speak for 14 minutes and then reload the game and start over, just to show that you can't lose, or that I don't lose, you know what I mean?